One day, my mom took a photography course and met a special student at the French Alliance in Siem Reap. She told me her name was Cloé, and you won't believe it, but Cloé came all the way from a French city called Nantes to Cambodia. Yes, you heard me. She came from France on a bicycle and by herself. I can't even ride a bike. Well, I just started, but I didn't know a bike could go that far. Anyway, how old are you, Cloé?
24. I was 22 when I left.
Wow, that's young.
No, not that much. It's fine.
What happened? Why did you decide to do that?
I was finishing my bachelor in architecture back in France. And I was thinking to do a gap year in between my bachelor and my master degree because I wanted to learn and explore differently the architecture world because it's a lot about creation, and I think creation doesn't come from like sitting in school and just opening our brain to whatever comes and whatever the teacher are saying to us. And I thought I will be to Japan. I will go there because my father is Japanese and my mom is French, and I've never lived in Japan. So I wanted to know this other side of my roots. And and my idea was basically to go to Japan.
By plane?
By plane, yeah, because I had no idea about traveling by bicycle.
Oh, so where did you get this crazy idea from?
The summer before, I was traveling in Uzbekistan with my family, and like in Uzbekistan there is basically one road, and so every travelers are on this road, and we were in a car, and along the road we saw one cyclist and then a group of 3 cyclists with like bags on it and cycling under the heat. That was summertime, so Uzbekistan in summertime is like crazy hot. Even in the car, it was like so hot. And those guys were cycling outside under the heat. And we stopped and talked to them. And this blew my mind.
Why?
Because I thought they would be like so tired and exhausted and, and like feeling like, oh, like, can you give us a hand? Or this is too hard or whatever. And at the beginning, I didn't understand what they were doing. And then I understood that they were traveling. And I had no idea about traveling by bicycle. I knew about backpacking or hitchhiking or this other like alternative way of traveling, but putting your life on a bicycle and going like that, I had no idea. So
hold on, Cloé. So that was the turning point?
That was like the first inspirational moment that I got, and this has really a huge impact on me because they were smiling. They were super happy, It was something that, for me, I thought they were living a terrible moment to my mind. I thought it was like, because we were in the middle of the Kizilkum desert, it's huge, so they had like few days of cycling in the desert. I was like, oh my God, how can you do that to yourself?
Yes, Cloé. How could you do that to yourself?
Yeah, but actually it's like, it's a choice. It's not something which is painful, or I don't do that because I have no other way. Like, I decided to do it in that way because for me it's way more rewarding than just like taking a plane and going to Japan. This is more, this is about the journey that there is in between. And now I'm slowly getting to understand that actually the final destination is just like an excuse. It's just like it guides my way, but this is not like the main thing. I think the main thing is the way which is in between.
Did you know how to cycle before?
Little bit. Little bit, but I didn't even have a bicycle. So I had a small city bike. So I was cycling like you can do in Siem Reap here and there, like flat and going just like transportation. But I was not cycling as a hobby every weekend, cycling hard. And this is still not what I'm into. I don't really consider myself as a cyclist because it's not my hobby, it's more like a tool that I use.
How did you prepare this trip?
Architecture studies are like really intense, so it's just like I didn't have time even to sleep. So I didn't have time to really think and prepare a project and work in the meantime. So yeah, I was working a little bit. In the meantime, I was doing like some food delivery by bicycle, and and I was working in summer camp with children and disabled adults. And so that was like in the meantime of my studies during weekends and nights and things like that. And then I worked for 3 months as a waitress in a restaurant before leaving. And I also did a small crowdfunding to raise, like, so I got some sponsors and some people like sponsor my bicycle as well, my how to say, multimedia equipment like camera, laptop. So things like that. So that was like in a really short time, and I didn't want to make a big deal out of it neither. But I was like, yeah, maybe I need to be a little bit prepared because I finished my studies in June, and I was like, I was supposed to go, no? And I was like, yeah, but are you ready to go tomorrow? Says, no, like you have nothing, no money, no bicycle, just like, so give yourself a little bit of time. So that's what I've done, but I didn't need to have like thousands and thousands of things and money and all of that.
What did your parents think about the idea? Were they worried?
They don't show it. They don't show it. And now I have the chance to have people that support me and who didn't go against my choices. And actually, yeah, my mom kind of pushed me, make me realize that like it's not so complicated. Just take your bike. Like, why are you still here? You said that you were going to do that, so just do it. So it's so good actually to have those kind of person that you know so well, and they know you like so well as well, and that they can just like push you in the right direction. And yeah, I think she did that like really well. To gave me this huge open space, let's say, and like push me towards this freedom, rather than being like the super anxious mom who wants to protect, even if I'm sure she's worried, you know, but she just she doesn't want to show it. And I think she just trusts me, and she trusts the world because she saw the world as well. She has been traveling for years. Yeah, and she trusts me, and she knows that I'm clever enough to don't put myself in purposefully in dangerous situations.
You remember the day you left?
Yeah, sure. Sure, I was not ready at all. That was so funny because I make people believe that I was super ready, you know. And because an event was organized and everything with some sponsors and journalists, and I was like, and I spent the entire night trying to pack up my bags and stuff, and even my bicycle wasn't ready neither. I had to do some adjustment on my bike in the morning in another bike shop because that was not ready.
Oh, I thought you could just decide when to leave.
Yeah, but I think it's good as well to have like a deadline, because otherwise you can spend months and years to prepare something like that, because you are never fully ready. But you don't need to be fully ready, because it's, as I said, it's all about transition. And it's not like if I was going in the mountain or in the steppe of Mongolia, for example, where there is nothing around. I left and I was in France. I followed the Loire River, and then I spent like 10 days in France and then in Italy. So you have plenty of stuff around. You can still buy your shampoo. You can still go to the Decathlon if you forget to buy like spare equipment or whatever. So it's like, it's not if you are going to live in another world for years.
Okay, Cloé. It's true that you are not traveling to another planet.
It's not like something, impossible to do. Just grab a bicycle and put your house on it and go.
You had your house on your bicycle?
Yeah, I have my tent, camping.
Where?
Where do I go camping? In people's houses. Yeah, because I've been in places where I'm just like sleeping in the bed with like the entire family, you know, I'm in between with the children and the mom and the dad all around in the same bed.
You did that?
Yeah, I did that, yeah, plenty of, well, sometimes, yeah. Yeah, I have my tent, so this is kind of my safety to go everywhere, because I know that in any case, I have my home with me, so I can just pitch my tent anywhere. And this is also a tool for interacting with people. So sometimes they just come to me, and because they are really curious, and it's like, where do you sleep? I'm just like, yeah, I have my tent. Can I pitch my tent somewhere in a safe place? And I explained that I don't need anything. I have water, food, my home with me, so it's okay. I just need safety because I'm alone. And most of the time it's just like, oh no, you're alone. But this is dangerous, a woman shouldn't be alone. Everything, and just like, come to my home, like come and have dinner with us, and like sleep with my family, it's okay. And yeah, we're gonna be really happy to welcome you and everything. So it's, yeah, like lots of spontaneous hospitality, and this is so good to discover the culture of a country really from the inside, rather than just like passing by and seeing. I can really see how is a culture. And yeah, and then there is architecture, and I think it's like really linked with that. So the more I travel and the more I get interested into vernacular architecture, it's like the traditional and local architecture with like locally sourced materials and houses that are growing from the landscape and from the environment, and not in contrast that we can do like right now, for instance, with modern architecture. Or
How did you know where to go?
so I had some vague ideas that kind of made my itinerary. So like the ending point is Japan, and then I said, oh, like I would like to be back to India, and I would like to discover North India, because I've been in the South 6 years ago, and I was like, this is so interesting, and I want to see what is the difference between the South and the North. So then I was like, okay, so it means that I'm not going to go through Central Asia, because it's not like, I don't know, it's not really logical, and then I would have to take a plane. And I was like, no, okay, but it's okay, I don't really want to go to Central Asia this time. So, but let's see. And then I was like, yeah, I want to go through Turkey and Iran. And in Europe, I wanted to discover Croatia. So it kind of make the way, but everything is still really flexible. And I've been to countries that I didn't plan to go, because that was not really, yeah, if you take a ruler and if you go straight to Japan, this is not at all on the way. and yeah, and there is country where I ended up because I left the door open to this opportunity.
How long did you stay at each place?
Depends. When I left, I was really into a dynamic mood. So I was like cycling, like really cycling. And
That was a part in France.
yeah, in France, for example, I crossed France in like 10 days. And I stopped maybe, I don't know, 2 nights at the same place. But otherwise I was staying one night cycling, staying one night cycling, like keeping in the move. And that was good, because that was the beginning, of that was what I wanted to do, and then I kept doing that. And usually it's more or less what I'm doing. Then I have some based points. Sometimes just like, oh, this is really interesting, I want to visit that, or I want to see like this special village or whatever. And then I stay a couple of days, few days. It depends. And because the only limit that I have is the limit that I give to myself, that works as well with time. So it's like time is extendable as well. So my notion of time has been changing during those few years, and now it doesn't really matter how long I stay. It's more about the intensity of the moment. So sometimes I can stay only one night in one place, and it's so intense. There is such a nice connection with the family or the people that I will remember it just like for my entire life. And sometimes I can stay maybe 1 week in one place, and it's just like, and I leave and I'm just like, why did I stay so long? I don't know. Lots of travelers they just like keep moving, and especially by bicycle you can as well miss lots of things, because it takes time to reach a place, and then it's hard to stop as well, because you are used like physically to be in movement all the time. So you kind of you just can't stop. And I had that. I had like I've been staying 2-3 nights in one place. This is enough. Like I feel like I want to move. I want to see something else. I want to meet new people. Like I can't get attached to one place.
Why?
Why? Because I think the more you travel and the more you develop a kind of curiosity towards everything.
So how did you know it was the right time to leave?
It depends. It's a kind of balance. When the want of seeing something new is higher than the want of staying and go deeper into what I'm living, then I just leave. But when it's the opposite, then I just stay. So, it.
What if you get a crush on someone?
What if I have a crush on the way? I didn't tell you that.
Did it happen?
Yeah, I did. I was thinking that that I couldn't stay, like because I gave to myself a strong barrier, and I was like, I should leave because that was amazing. Like this place, it's still so intense in my like the memory of that place. It's still like beautiful to me, and this is not just because of him. This is because of this entire environment, and this city is beautiful as well. And that was the end of something and the beginning of something else, because then I was going to Dubai and then India, and India I knew that it would be a big piece. So there was just like a small rest before jumping into India. So I was like really on a turning point, let's say. And I didn't allow myself to stay because I thought that I was not able to stay, and that this moment will grow, like the intensity will be like this, and then I will get bored, and then I will leave, but not with a nice memory. You know, I will leave because I feel bored and I feel like I don't really like this place, na. So I tried to catch the highest intensity, like when I felt so good, and I was like, wow, this is amazing, I'm leaving. So this is what I've done.
Oh, you broke his heart. Why didn't you let him follow you?
No, that's okay.
But didn't he want to follow you?
But like, you don't follow me because people have their own life as well, and it's just like, okay, I'm gonna follow you, and I don't want anyone following me neither, because there is no, I think there is no space for that. So something new has to be created. But now things are changing because I met someone else.
Here? In Siem Reap?
Yeah,
Are you still going to Phnom Penh?
yeah, because he's living in Phnom Penh.
Okay, Chloe. Got it. Destiny brought you to Siem Reap.
That was interesting because at the beginning, I didn't plan to go to Cambodia, and even when I was in Thailand, I didn't know that I would go to Cambodia. So so as I told you, I got more and more interested into architecture, and especially like traditional architecture, and then I thought, but what the contemporary architects are doing now, like what's happening, because this is traditional, people are doing that in villages, but now, like, is there people doing something? So I began to do some research and everything, and I wanted to meet architects that were doing something meaningful with like locally sourced materials, involving local community, and like building something not just for the sake of building a house, but building something that has a real meaning with the environment and the population and the knowledge and skills. In my mind, I was crossing the border from Myanmar to Thailand, and I thought I would go in the north of Thailand, Laos, Vietnam, China.
So, you were going to skip Cambodia?
Yeah, that was definitely not in my plan. And then I crossed the border from Myanmar to Thailand, and rather than going left and go north, I just turn right and go south and go to Cambodia. I was like, I will see. I don't know. Let's go there and let's see what's gonna happen. Okay, this is not the way to Japan, but this is somehow towards east. So
How did you feel when you arrived in Cambodia?
I felt good, just good, you know. I was cycling from Thailand, Cloé National Park, and heading towards Siem Reap. So I crossed the border at Osmak, Chom Chom, in Thailand, and yeah, that was really incredible because I've been in Thailand for a month, and that was holidays, summer holidays or something like that, and I barely didn't see any kids, like maybe here and there in Thailand, but like not that much. And then I crossed the border to Cambodia, and that was insane. Like I saw kids everywhere waving and just like hi, hey, hello, and like everywhere in the street, like and along the road, and I was like, what is this country? How come that there is so many kids? And like with like yeah, such a beautiful smile. And this is so interesting because I think kids are saying a lot about the country because they are so innocent. They are still like really pure and didn't really get affected yet by the social pressure or even like the community, how you should behave, anything, how you should, what you should think about something that you have never seen. And for instance, in India, depend of the part and of the state because it's quite different. But most of the time, kids were like super shy, so shy, and afraid of me, like really like crying and everything because they didn't know who I was and why I was like that and why I was not speaking their own language and you know why I was with this weird bag. So they were like afraid and they were not really able to come to me, talk to me, or socialize or anything. So this means a lot because no one have ever told them that a foreigner is dangerous or you should be afraid of a foreigner. It's like pure, I don't know, instinct or I don't know where it comes from, but it's really it's yeah. I think it's really raw. And in Cambodia, even like really small kids, 3 years old, they were like, "Hey, hi," and like so happy to see me. And if I was stopping, they will all come, even if they have no idea of what they're gonna say to me. It's just like pure innocence, and I think it's curiosity and openness. And I felt yeah. So for the first moment I entered, I felt just like really good. In Cambodia, it's different. It's more like, "Oh my God, what is this? Oh, it's so good. Let's go and talk to her." So you feel way more comfortable and you feel less weird when there is this reaction. So so yeah, crossing the border was like a really nice surprise.
You felt more free?
You're right. I think you got your answer. Yeah, I felt so much less weird. So
You arrived in June, then you went back to France for Christmas. Why?
my family told me it's Christmas time and it's important, and you have people that love you in France and they can't travel. So I was really into my bubble, and this was like, ping, like ah yeah, it's true. This is right. This is important, and this matters for me. And this is thanks to this person that I'm able to do what I can do, and I don't want to carry on this journey thinking that this is hurting people that I love. So I decided to go back to France for like a month and a half for Christmas, New Year, and that was great actually. That was really good. That was a really nice decision to be able to see families and friends and enjoy this time there. So yeah, I just came back actually,
Why did you stay so long in Siem Reap?
and that was also kind of a challenge for me after moving for such a long time to be all the time in the move and to be like really nomadic. I was asking to myself, are you able to go back to like let's say a normal lifestyle and to settle down somewhere for more than a week and to have deeper connection with people, with the place, with the environment where you are living, and that was a huge challenge to me because I thought I will not be able to do that, and and then when I discovered that I was like, oh, this is good. Like I want to push myself. I want to get out of my comfort zone because somehow I've been creating my own comfort zone while traveling. Just like for me, that was not something unusual. I was not taking any risk. That was not a challenge anymore. I knew that I was able to cycle 80K a day. I knew that I was able to go there or go here or to plan my next visa or whatever. Like everything was like, that was nice, that was exciting, but that was not, something pulling me like the unknown. I knew. I didn't know what was going to happen, but I knew that it will be all fine. And I kind of like this instability when you don't know, when everything is blurry, but you want to go towards that because you're just like, I have no idea and I want to go to see what's this unknown. So that was a bit like that. That was a bit like, I have no idea about Cambodia. Great, no one really told me anything about Cambodia. So it's just like, let's go and discover on my own.
Why didn't you wait until you get in Japan? That was your plan after all.
I don't know, because
You stop here.
because I felt it was the right time. I don't know. It's all about welcoming whatever comes on your way, and I think I was kind of ready for that, and I felt this excitement of like something new happening. So and that was in the meantime that was really exciting, but that was also really scary because that was like a year and a half Yeah, I was cycling for a year and a half when I stopped in Cambodia, and I was kind of asking to myself, maybe during all that time I've been losing my identity. It's like, who am I as a person when I get down off my bicycle? Because it's like I've been linked to that, and I was wondering, am I still someone? Like, if I'm not with a bicycle, it's like, yeah, oh, the bicycle girl. Oh, she's the one traveling by bicycle. It's like, yeah, but I'm also someone apart from the bicycle girl, and I didn't know that. I mean, I kind of lost that, and I wanted to see if I was still someone without it. I was like, I have no idea. This is really scary to get out of that, and because I've been identifying myself in the eyes of others through this, and I was like, yeah, how am
So
I
Tanya,
gonna react? Sorry.
what answer did you find?
I'm
Who are
still
you?
someone without a bicycle, and this is great.
What do you like about Cambodia, Chloe?
I like the houses in the village. This is what makes sense, and this is what people don't really realize. They don't realize the value that it has, because this is something which is traditional, with traditional skills, with locally sourced materials. So everything is kind of made from the environment, and it's linked to it, and their way of life is shaping the house as well. So it's like, yeah, houses are on stilts because then when it's raining season, like you can still have an access to the house and have dry feet, but when it's dry season, you can like use the bottom of your house to have shadow and nice ventilation. Yeah, and it also helps to have like the bamboo floor and the thatched roof, because it's like really a really nice ventilation in the house, and it's just bamboo, but you don't need more than that. And another like really simple and relaxed lifestyle, and I think it's also one of the reasons why I stayed here. It's really comfortable. You don't feel any anxiety, any stress while staying here, even if people are just like, they have nothing, you know, they just have their cows and paddy field and bamboo house, and but they're able to have a nap in their hammock, and this is beautiful, you know. It's just like, and I guess this is linked very closely to Buddhism, about enjoying the present time. And tomorrow is going to be tomorrow, so tomorrow we will see. But right now we have enough to eat, we have a shelter, and we have love. So this is like basically the three main needs that you have. You have your family, you have your friends, you have a roof on your head, you have some rice in your plate, and this is enough. And I love the idea that Khmer people got that into them, and the big smile on their face. They're able to understand the value that it has, and maybe it's also because of the terrible history that there is before. Just like, yeah, it could be worse, and you understand that, you know, because that was really recent, that it could be worse, and now you have rice in your plate. It's amazing, you know.
So let's come back to the guy you met.
You want to know now? Yeah, I met him in Siem Reap actually.
Is he going to follow you on your journey?
That's possible. We're thinking about it. So I'm gonna go to Phnom Penh, and we're gonna see what we are gonna do. Maybe on the paper it's gonna look like the same. Maybe we are both of us going to take a bicycle and go to Japan, but the route is gonna be different, because it's gonna be something that will be planned for two and not for one individual person anymore. So this is really exciting, and this is really scary as well.
Oh, it's gonna be your last trip on your own.
Oh, come on, don't say that.
Don't say that.
Oh, never thought about that.
So, what did you learn about yourself?
You know, I'm still learning. But I can say that maybe I'm more confident about myself, but also about others. And I think that, I don't know, I didn't really have any like really bad experience, for instance. and just like people are looking for it and they're like, oh, did you have like any difficult moment or anything? Just like, no, everything went fine. Like, this is okay. And
It's just life.
this is just life, and this is not like dangerous or super anxious or everything. So it's just, I think I'm trusting whatever will come to me is gonna be good. And maybe before I was not so much like this, to don't have lots of expectations and hopes. Many times people are asking to me like, did you expect your travel to be like this? And I was like, no, like I had no idea for how long I will live, what I will do. I thought maybe I will live for 2 days because this will not be for me, this kind of lifestyle, or maybe, I don't know. So, and I don't want to have those expectations because I think somehow it's closing the box as well. And if you expect something, then if you don't get it, it's like something which is a minus. But if you don't expect anything, everything that comes to you is just like a plus, a bonus, it's like a blessing.
Aren't you tired of traveling?
Not yet. No, not yet.
Thanks for the interview, Cloé. Why did you accept this interview?
It's nice to be able to share that, and I'm happy to be able to give back what people gave me too, because it's not about myself. It's not about talking about me. It's because I hate that. It's talking about something that I lived and that I'm still living. And so it's more about an experience. So no, but I hope as well that maybe my brief passage to this village or this talk with this young Indian girl or Khmer girl, just like maybe I will not have any contact with them, but maybe one of those days they will decide to do something that their family will find crazy, and they will have my image of what I've told them in mind, and this will be beautiful.
Did the Uzbekistan guys know that they have inspired you?
They don't know, but I have their smile in my head, and I'm just like, this is like a really, at that time I didn't realize how important it was, but this is like a real turning point at the end.
What's next? We don't know. I wish he has a good trip to Japan. Of course, with a bicycle.